Alright, I slowed the video down, so let's see if this works. I don't love the start. I take beaver, roll, and I just end up going otter mouse. I didn't take the first mouse I saw, because I do like higher statted tier 1s, generally speaking, like fish, mosquito, pig, and otter, to press for early wins. However, upon further thought, I think the mouse might be the play against higher elo opponents. Getting easy, cheap stats on your tier 3 early or on a peacock is really good in the early rounds, and it sets you up for a way better mid-game, and I think you'll see what I mean by that in a second. So, on turn 2, once I click through here, I take fish. It's probably not the best thing to do here, either, just because in general you don't want to take more than 3 different tier 1 units, so you can maximize the chance for level ups on odd turns. But I am feeling kind of weak here with this 1-attack otter and mouse. Roll into 2 otters here and stack 1. Hits the mouse, but life goes on. Main thing, of course, is just getting a tier 3 on turn 3 with the level up next turn. Front the strong units and get to it. Win, which is great. Yeah, spoiler alert, I win here. And I see he's got some mice of his own, so I'm expecting either a big tier 3 or like a 5-7 peacock or something like that next turn. I level into a dolphin here with the otter, so that's what's going to define my game plan for the next few turns. I think dolphin is solid in the early to mid game, but it becomes really useful right before the late game for countering scorpions. That's something I've noticed a lot of very skilled players doing lately. Okay, so here's an Anth Genius play. I see the hedgehog and the meat in the shop, and I'm expecting a big unit next turn, so I'm like, everybody's health is above 3, might as well run it. And what do you know, he's got 2 peacocks, he's gearing up to make a big peacock, and having that dog in position 3 right there is actually really big brain. It effectively counters my hedgehog play. But I end up winning it anyway. I'm not really sure how. I think he could have made the dog bigger somehow. Not really sure what I'm doing here on this turn, honestly. Just buying an otter to get more health since it looks like the hedgehog is staying on the squad, and I freeze another hedgehog as well. What I'm thinking here is if I can force him to buy garlic on a bigger unit with the hedgehog, I can go skunk later to counter whatever that unit is. And he does decide to stat his peacock and snail his spiders to make my hedgehog worse. And by now I'm thinking, okay, I've seen this movie before. Everything's proceeding according to plan. He gets more lucky spider spawns, and he barely wins the round this time. So I see that, and yeah, this win is so narrow. I see that, and I decide to turn into the Joker, and I buy another hedgehog. And very luckily, I roll into another one that I freeze, so I can hopefully level it into a skunk next turn. I know I'm probably not winning the next round. He's got tempo on me at this point, but I'm fine as long as I can end up grabbing a skunk next turn. I see that in battle, he has some rabbits, which means he's investing more into his peacock for sure. So the skunk plan will end up working even better in the long run. Yeah, we end up drawing this one because he ended up losing tempo overall from the rabbits. I end up hitting the skunk, which you'll see here in a second. I end up hitting the skunk with the level up, which is wonderful. I probably couldn't have stayed in this game if I didn't make this adjustment. I decide it's time to pill the spider, and I get a rabbit. So I'm like, that's great. I can buy salads and hopefully trade favorably. I see he went spider at the front last time, so I put my rabbit at the front, but actually makes no difference now that I think about it. It wouldn't have made a difference if it had just died to the hedgehog, because I lose the trade with the spider in theory anyway. And he ends up switching the position of his peacock. Maybe could have won that round if I just kept the hedgehog where it was. So on turn 7, here I sort of just hedgehog-proof my team with garlic and buying salads. It's not a super good turn. I don't really feel like looking for that last otter this turn. I figure I should just make as much use of this rabbit while it's still sort of relevant. And in battle, we're going to see in a second, he decides to run Parrot Deer on turn 7. And I can't blame him, because that's unbeatable tempo. I lose this round, and I'm like, okay, that's fair. And I look at his squad, and it's looking pretty strong. He's got 3 summon units, energizing with his dog, and a strong peacock that my skunk can only do so much about. So, I end up finding an otter on this next turn here, and I level it up into a shark, and I instantly just take it, just because shark scaling in the shop is very strong, but it's mostly just a band-aid to try and stop the bleeding for now. My team is gearing up to be more sniper-focused with the dolphin and the skunk, and I'm getting crocodiles next turn, which could counter his summoning team well. At this point, I'm not looking for any more level ups, so I just toss some cupcakes on the shark and also the dolphin to squeeze a few more extra stats out of the rabbit. Let's see how this battle goes. Yeah, I'm probably losing this one. Yeah, certainly. Oh, no, I'm drawing. Never mind. So that's fine. That's cool. I'm like, whatever. Another Anth genius play of the game right here. I think rolling here, seeing Dolphin Chocolate, and deciding to level up the Dolphin instead of the Shark was actually a really disciplined play. I'm thinking if I level up my Dolphin, he can't go for any Scorpion shenanigans, but I can if I want to. And he has to waste money scaling his weak summoning units if he doesn't want them to get sniped. Plus, if the skunk ever gets to level 3, a dolphin on the team is a huge asset, even though the skunk would have to get higher attack than the dolphin for the forbidden strategy to work, in theory. Anyway, I find a cat, so I'm like... I found a cat that turn as well, so I'm like, as long as I find a crocodile soon, I'm being chilling. I do still lose to the degenerate parrot, turkey, tiger bullcrap, so I'm like, okay, I gotta get more snipers and start scaling with cat. I see a crocodile, and I decide to say goodbye to the hedgehog. At this point, I'm convinced that sniper maxing against these turkey stacks is the only way I stay in this. I roll into sushi and another crocodile, which is awesome. At this point, I'm considering letting the shark go soon for another crocodile, just because that's going to make more of a difference in the short run, and definitely in the long run if it gets scaled more with food. I think he's basically checked out at this point. I think he's going to get carried by... He thinks he's going to get carried by the parrot, turkey, tiger stuff, and the dolphin. But the dolphin and the croc combo end up giving him a hard time this turn. Okay, so next turn, turn 11, I see a gorilla in the shop at some point. Yeah, there's the gorilla. And I already have cat, and I see that my dolphin is no longer going to be able to snipe his units because they have higher health now. And he hasn't gone scorpion yet, so I think it's better to scale up a gorilla than a dolphin at this point. I roll into some more crocs as well, which is very important. I do see that he puts his rooster in the back to catch the crocodile shot this turn, which is pretty smart. So he is adjusting, but he hasn't found a good way to deal with what I have yet. Gorilla puts in work this turn, which is sweet. We always love to see a return to monkey. Oh yeah, but yeah, it doesn't matter for him. I think he's down to like 2 life at this point. So I'm like, okay, let's level the croc, see what we get. Sell shark, scale with sushi. And I decide to tiger my crocodile to hopefully punch through to his parrot. And in the turn with my whole shop frozen, not really knowing how I'm going to proceed from here. At this point, I'm like, okay, this is way later than these games usually go. I don't really know how I'm going to win this, if I'm going to win this. The croc shots are making his life miserable, and now I've got him on the ropes. I'm like, oh shit, I could tap this in. But he's probably gonna reorganize the squad somehow, and I gotta be ready. Like, I don't know what he's gonna do. I buy everything in my frozen-ass shop, and I roll into another gorilla, which is huge. Right now I'm considering selling skunk for the other cat I have frozen, and then just buying leopard as well. And hopefully that successfully outscales him. In battle, I see that he now has a cat of his own, so I'm like, oh shit, this crocodile is all of a sudden not gonna cut it as much. I definitely need to buy that other cat, and then buy food before I do anything else, so I can absorb the damage from the deer. And I do exactly that in this next shop turn, on turn 14. I do what I just said. I sell the skunk, I buy the cat, and I buy the pizza. And then I sell the cat instead of combining, just so I can get one of my frozen leopards out there earlier. Just because the more shit I can fling at him, the better my chances are. He ends up putting a mushroom on the tiger, which renders my lucky leopard shot. It ends up landing and killing the tiger, but, like, it's useless. So the turkey ends up becoming a super turkey, and it washes me this turn. Now we're both at 1 life, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta find another leopard to level up, or something else crazy to give me hella stats, otherwise I'm cooked. And then I see the mushroom and the mammoth in the shop, and I'm like, you know what, I think this, if anything's gonna work, it's probably gonna be this. If I do this, this gives everybody behind 8-8. And what do you know? Spoiler alert, it does end up working. As you will see here. Thanks for watching, gamers. It's been real.